The other young teachers that are with me come from Honduras, Jamaica, Pakistan, Holland, and the US. My union fights for the right to education, especially for girls, for the right of teachers, and for ending corruption in the education system. My mother taught me to fight corruption no matter what. Before the revolution in Egypt, we had no right to speak. I joined the Independent Teacher Union after the revolution. I am here to speak up for my country. We need to create laws that make going to school an obligation for all children. We also need government funding for schools. It is the government's responsibility to provide quality education for all children. They made that promise to us almost 15 years ago. Very often, the problem is not a shortage of money. It is the way that money is spent. We need to make sure that teachers receive proper training so that they can provide the quality education that children deserve. At home, my father did not encourage me to go to school, but my mother said I must go so that I will be independent and not have to depend on my brothers. I want the same for every girl in Egypt and every country. Malala, you said that you want to have an education even if you have to sit on the floor to get it. It is the spirit I want girls in Egypt to develop. We are all Malala, so let us fight together for the right of every child to be educated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mena. I just got a new inspiration for the next slogan I'm going to read out. And that's, we are Malala, okay? When I say we are, all Malala, okay? You get it? We are. We can do better than that. We are. Thank you very much. Next is a delegate from one of the champion countries for the Education First Initiative, Australia, and I'm calling on Grace.
Good morning. I am here representing Walk Free. It is our aim to end slavery in all its forms in my lifetime. I would now like to share a story. The rubbish tip, Phnom Penh. Steadily holding my eyes with hers, not averting her gaze nor with shame as she did yesterday. Her wide, soft brown eyes now begin trusting me. Premature aging, desperation, despair, despondency, and the ominous, ever-present risk of sickness, starvation, and death. All from lack of education to a little child. And so in Sokai's young face was etched the fine lines of worry, suffering, and hunger. Yet, Sokai chatted hopefully of the future, despite the impoverished reality of her circumstances, overwhelming in their challenge. Mum and I had found Sokai days before, alongside the Phnom Penh rubbish tip, in a little makeshift teaching shed, funded and managed by a brave and committed Australian who had devoted his life to the Cambodian rubbish tip kids. The nearby orphanages he established were all too full now to take any more children, so Sokai was left with hundreds of others to scavenge out an existence in the day and work to escape their circumstances at night. Yet, due to the great hope of education, Sokai and all her friends still gathered in the little shed to harvest the rudiments of arithmetic, writing, and spelling, which they knew were the only ways to save their lives. Struggling all day, learning at night. Education is this beautiful child's only hope for a path to an existence of independence and sustainability. The alternative? Possibly starvation, or slipping into the hands of the omnipresent human traffickers that had already tried to approach the little school. We visited again years later, and Sokai was no longer working at the tip, but teaching in the shed, and helping hundreds like her out of the path of misery. Education saved her life and is now allowing Sokai to save the lives of hundreds of others in Cambodia. Thank you.
Y justo ahora.
Madre. Te pasó lo mismo, más weón.
Our goals, we take steps. Steps that can lead to a brighter future. One of these steps is
Dani, préstame un
education.
cargador que está ahí al lado.
That through time, women have been deprived of their right to be educated. Although some women are able to be educated, many are not, mainly in developing countries. In rural parts of Ethiopia and Africa, women are expected to do all the houseworks and bear children at a young age. My aunt, who is from the rural parts of Ethiopia, but her mom, who had conceived at a young age, understood the importance of education and sent her off to a relative. My aunt went to my grandmother's house, where she was able to go to school, and now she has a first degree in accounting and has a job. She's also able to support her brother to go to school and has become our family role model. By giving the girls the chance to be educated, we're giving them the chance to support their family and get a job. That can be starting a business, being a lawyer, doctor, engineer, architecture, and becoming great leaders. The smallest change can make a big difference, as well as a chance to be educated as a chance to change lives. I would like to ask world leaders to help and work on girls' education with more commitment and dedication. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hannah. And now we will go to Latin America, where the delegate from Chile, Pamela, who is sitting on the right, just underneath the lights there, who is speaking.
Hi, I am Pamela Santos. I am from Chile and representing Enseña Chile and Teach for All. Let's go back to 2011 and picture a country in turmoil. Imagine high school and university students and their families pouring into the street, marching to demand something that Chile has not been able to achieve in spite of all in its economic success, high quality education for everyone regardless of their origin. Here I was in my senior year of high school. My school was taken over by students as part of these massive student demonstrations. This meant that classes were interrupted because both teachers and students were on strike. Additionally, there was no place to meet because the school was vacated as a measure to exert pressure on the government. My teacher from Enseña Chile and I decided to organize lessons for other highly motivated students in order to keep up with the class objectives for the year and to prepare for our university admission exams. We held daily lessons in a church near the school. Under these extreme conditions, I attended lessons every day because I definitely wanted to enter university. This was a bit challenging, especially because if I managed to head into the university, it would be first family member to attend. Moreover, the fact that only a small percentage of people from my school and similar ones actually enter university was always in the back of my mind and kept me going. After successfully completing my admission exams, I got admittance to study economics at University of Chile, ranking in the top 2 universities in the country. In my first 2 years at university, I had been able to balance university's academic responsibilities with my work at University of Chile initiative, Escuela de Desarrollo de Talentos, Talents Development School. These initiatives aim to fully prepare students from public schools in vulnerable communities during their last 2 years of school so that they can truly face the challenges of university. I work in this program with the objective that these students enter university and be able to transform their own future and that of their families. In closing, I can assure you that it has been a bumpy ride full of obstacles. Nevertheless, I feel that I have the strength and commitment to finish this race that I started in 2012. I also want to help others like me to fulfill their dreams along the way in order to have a more inclusive country with a fairer academic future for everyone. Thank you.
I have to say that Pamela is absolutely fluent in Spanish, but she had to work on that speaking English and insisted that she will read it today in English as a demonstration of her education. So thank you for that.
Huh?
I'm also now going to kindly ask the next few delegates who speak to sit down so that you will speak more into the microphone. I've been told that it's difficult for people to hear you. Next up is a delegate from a neighboring country of mine. I'm from Sierra Leone. He's from the Gambia. Modu, who is sitting here.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Modu Nyang. I'm an Angai youth delegate from the Gambia in West Africa. Chairperson, allow me to bring to Malala special birthday wishes from students, children, and young people in the Gambia. When I was young, or when I was 4 years exactly, my family sent me to a local Quranic memorization school where I was to memorize the Holy Quran. Upon arrival at this center, I have to fight with every student in the center to determine those that I can beat and those that can beat me. Those that I can beat will survive under my commands, and those that can beat me, I will have to do as they say. While in school, that's in that formal school, I was to pay $1 every day to my mother. I raised that money through begging in the street. I met a kind woman